Okay, now that everyone's here, let's continue. And we are going to be continuing with the machine that we started yesterday. So that machine was known as Wonderland on try hacking, and we had seen that there was a web server, and actually there was a website as well, not just the web server. We had reached the website, and we were able to see that it was again the pages and the stuff, the images, all of that. It was based on the theme, which is Alice in Wonderland. So that is what we saw. Now we are going to have to figure out what else we can do there, because just on the basis of what we have seen yesterday, that information alone was not enough. So we are going to continue working on that. Okay, so the machine is up. We have the IP. We have already seen what's present here. Okay, we have SSH and we have HTTP. But what next? Okay, we are going to access the website again, and
Hello, sir.
establish a connection.
Hello.
Yeah. Okay.
Sir, can you hear me?
Yes.
In try hack me only we can do is the only pen testing. Huh? Ethical hacking also we can do in pen testing. No, in try hack me.
Do you think they are different?
No, actually one of my friend called me now.
Hmm.
He's in Pankaj sir class. He's on the first session, ethical hacking, but they are also doing this try hack me. This ethical hacking also can do in try hack me.
See, penetration testing is an application of ethical hacking. You don't
Okay.
really need try hack me for that course itself because there's a lot of theory and okay, penetration testing you don't have any theory. In ethical hacking, there's a lot of theory involved,
Okay.
and
Actually, they are also doing one machine. So volume one, catch the flag, CTF volume one. That they have to do corrupted image. They have to make it proper, and then they have to find the flag. Everyone like a complicated issue. They are doing that. Ethical hacking.
in ethical hacking, we don't really do machines or CTS. I don't know why they're doing
I
that.
don't know. Actually, sir told them to do that by looking YouTube.
Okay, by themselves.
Yeah, and they have done this CTF volume one. Actually, sir give the that's name for the CTF volume one. They told it's an image. First, we will get a corrupted image. We have to make it proper. After that, we have to find the flag inside the image, like a complicated one. Actually, our ethical hacking session was full of theory. We didn't get so much practical. That's why I am asking you.
In ethical hacking, we have a lot of theory because that forms a base. You
Yeah.
get the basic knowledge, you get some concepts that you need to understand
Okay.
before you can go to the practical portion.
Yeah.
But so I don't know why what they're doing over there. But in ethical hacking, we do theory, and of course there's practical portion as well, of course.
Okay.
But yeah, without
Yeah, can
theory,
you
the course
answer one
cannot
doubt
be
also?
done.
Actually, in our first ethical hacking session,
Mhm.
the session hijacking is there now. Session hijacking, one module.
Yeah,
Yeah, that actually we doing by taking the session ID from the website and putting in another tab.
right.
Yeah, it's the same method that we do in session hijacking, but they got the another method like going to elements source code. From there, they are taking some values.
It depends on the situation. Okay, it depends on how your website is handling your sessions. Okay, how
Okay.
it is handling the session information. Like if you have that information in a cookie, you can
Yeah.
copy the cookie and uh, you know like paste it in, send it as part of another request in another tab in another session. If it
Okay.
is storing that somewhere within the source code of the page, then like you mentioned, you'll go in the there and check it. So you
After this
have
session, after this penetration testing class, can you take some class for that?
for session hijacking.
More, I think some more doubt is there. I will ask you on that time because
What
our class was not proper. Our
what
class was
proper
not proper.
what issues
Ethical
did you
hacking,
like? What
offline
issues did
class,
you?
like Wi-Fi hacking. I told you once.
Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, like that. Then Android hacking,
Hmm.
Android OS hacking. Yeah, that's also was not proper. We didn't get an output from the.
And outputs from what?
Actually, we sending one Metasploit one payload. We are sending to OS now.
Yeah,
Yeah, after that we didn't get the session into the Android.
you didn't get the session. Okay,
No,
like when you tried it
something.
yourself,
This
you
is
didn't get the
something.
session, or
Actually, we didn't do it. Our lecturer do it,
hmm.
and something error showing on the very next day. I think the institute was closed.
Okay. Okay, yeah, that can be done, of course, no problem. So, like after that, you didn't ask them again for those topics.
No, they didn't open after that.
They didn't open after that. So okay, you took that somewhere else, not from Craw.
No, actually, this also was on afternoon. My friend called. Actually, they are getting class on this, and they called me and asked that this class work did you get? So I told I'm asking you. Actually, our first session was completed now in the record.
Okay. Yeah, so we can cover that Android hacking and stuff. We can cover all that. No worries.
Okay, okay, sir.
Okay. All right. So for now, what we are doing is we need to figure out how to, proceed forward with this. So far, we only have the information that, uh, you know, whatever we saw yesterday, we saw that there is a directory for images. There is a directory. Of course, there's a main directory that we visit, and then we have that directory for /r. Okay. So right now we don't really know how to proceed. One alternative is that you can use GoBuster and try and do some kind of directory brute forcing. So HTTP and your IP would be there. And for the word list, you just shared Buster. Now for the word list, we always use the word lists that are provided by Buster because those are pretty good. Okay, so we have one additional directory here, poem. Let's check that out as well. Okay, so this is a poem now, and the Jabberwocky, and there's a poem. If you go through it, it's just a poem that Lewis Carroll wrote, but it's not really going to help us out, because there's no information pertaining to the machine at all. So we page source. If there's something in the source, maybe. No, nothing in the source. Okay. So do you have any suggestions on how to proceed? Or what kind of approach would you take, or what would you think about doing in this situation? Keep in mind what you've seen yesterday as well as what we've seen today so far. Do you have any suggestions or any theories as to what might be the way out, or what might be the way forward actually? Anything? No. Oh, so yesterday we actually came across a couple of images. Do you think there's something there in those images that we could do? No. Okay. Then let me tell you what we are going to do next. I'm going to go back to the images that we saw earlier. Okay. There was a directory actually called image. Right. So there were a few images. Now, at first glance, okay, it looks like a normal image, right? Do you see anything off about the image at all? Like, does the image seem okay, or does this image seem off? Uh, in the glass down, something is written. This is just kind of in the glass. This glass, this is just the watch, the pocket watch. But other than that, there's nothing weird or nothing out of place about this image. Okay, images are supposed to look like this, but so far we just directly seen the image and do not analyze it, what I'm going to do is I'm going to download this image. So I'm going to save image as I'm going to download it on my system, save it, and okay. Now actually I already have it saved, so I'm not going to download it twice. What I'm going to do is I'm also going to cancel this now. It's not going to find anything else. Okay, I know because I've done this previously, so it's not going to find anything else. Now I'm going to go to the downloads directory where the image is present. Now there is something known as steganography. Have you heard of it? Are you familiar with what steganography is? No? Okay. See, steganography, let me just spell it out as well in the chat. Steganography means hiding some kind of data within some other kind of data. So let's say if someone were to take this image and apply some steganography here, what could be done is that they could have hidden some kind of text within this image. And when you look at the image, of course, there's no way to tell just by seeing the image that there might be something hidden here. So we have not yet checked for that. Okay. So we are going to check whether there is some hidden data here. Now there is a tool called Steg Hide that I'm going to use. Okay, so you can use this tool to hide data as well, and you can use it to extract it also. Extract it as well. If there is some data hidden within an image file, you can try to extract that using this tool. And if you want to hide some data within an image, then you can do that as well. So what we are going to do here is we are going to try and extract some data. So if there's something hidden, we'll try and extract that. Also, not just this image, also there is another image as well that we saw here, this Alice underscore door. So I'm going to download that as well. Again, I have that downloaded already on my system, so I'm not going to save it again. I already have it. But when you need to analyze an image like this, you need to have it downloaded onto your system. So I have it already, okay, in the same directory. Now first I'm going to try and try and extract data from this image. So the way to do that is, okay, look at the examples, the last two lines here. If you want to embed a text file within the JPG, you need to say stack embed CF. CF is for cover file. So cover file is the image, and EF is the embedded file. So the file that you want to hide, that is emb.txt, and that will hide that text file within the image. So when you see the image, unless you know that there is some data that has been hidden inside it, you won't be able to know that it contains some form of text. Only if you are trying to extract data, you know that there is some data hidden, you might be able to get access to it. Otherwise, it's going to be unknown to you. Now, what we are going to do is we're going to try and extract data from these images. So to extract embedded data from Sdg.jpg, so as an example, they've seen stack guide extract SF. SF is the source file which you want to try and extract some hidden data from. So stack hide extract hyphen SF, and first I'll try for this Alice underscore door, not JPG. Now it's asking me for a passphrase. So while embedding the data, while hiding that data, you can specify a password so that even if someone is trying to extract your hidden data, unless they have the password, they won't be able to get access to that data. But the thing is, I don't have any password here. So I'm just going to give it a blank password and say enter. Now, just because it's asking for a passphrase does not mean that there is a password that is being set for that file. Okay, it's going to ask you regardless of whether there is or there isn't a password. So now it said could not extract any data with that passphrase. So this can mean either of two things. One is that either one possibility is that I specified the wrong password, and the other possibility is that there was no data hidden in the image in the first place. So in both cases, this is the kind of message that you will be seeing. So now the issue here is that's the issue that even if you have the correct password, sorry, even if you are trying a lot of passwords and none of them is working, then you won't be able to figure out whether your password is incorrect or whether there is no data in the file. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just trying a blank password. So in most cases, there are no passwords that are applied to such files. So in this case, it says could not extract any data with that passphrase. What I'm going to do is I'm going to move on to the next file and try with that. The next file is white rabbit. So white rabbit underscore one. Enter passphrase again. I'm just entering a blank one. I don't have anything. I'm just pressing enter now. So now it is able to extract a file called hint.txt. So overwrite yes, and the extracted data has been written to this file. So there was no password. There was some data, but there was no password that was applied on that hidden data. So we were able to extract it, and now that we have extracted it, we can take a look at the file and see what is the data that we've received. So going to cat it out. It's a text file, cat hint.txt. So this is the text that I'm seeing. And what does it say? Follow the rabbit. Okay. So follow the rabbit is the same kind of thing that we've seen when we entered the website, the first page of the website itself. That's kind of the same thing that it tells you. Follow the white rabbits, and the hint is also almost exactly the same thing. But is there anything the hint is telling you uh, that is not present in the previous text that says follow the rabbit? So are you able to figure out the meaning of this? Anyone? Does the hint mean anything? Take a look at it. Does this hint tell you anything? Does it signify anything?
Is there in something in rabbit?
In rabbit, as in where?
Word rabbit?
Like, if there is a directory by that name, is that what you are saying?
Yeah. This exact like this. R space A space B space.
Let us check. Usually, there are no spaces in directory names, so that is
Okay.
highly unlikely.
Okay.
Okay, see this. You can try, but of course, page not found.
Okay.
Even this is not a directory.
Okay.
No, you are thinking along the right path, like you are close, but you are close to the solution, but still there is. Remember what you've seen so far. Keep that in mind, and see how this can apply to that.
Did we get anything from that rabbit image?
Yeah, that is the hint we got from the rabbit image. Follow the rabbit. That is the hint that we got.
Yeah.
That is what we are using here. That is what we are trying to actually decipher, the hint.
I think maybe something hidden in that rabbit image.
We've already extracted the rabbit image, extracted the hint from the rabbit image though.
I didn't get that screen. My screen was late.
See, what we did here was take hide extract hyphen sf white
Yeah.
underscore rabbit underscore one. So we already
Okay.
extracted this hint.txt file from the rabbit image.
Okay.
So we've already done that.
No, sir.
Okay. Do you remember what directories have we seen on the website so far?
Alice door.
No,
Three
no,
images.
not
No?
email, not the image name, just the directories, not the files.
Mm,
Image, yes, the image was one directory. What else?
okay. One poem.
Poem, okay. And there's one more. We also saw this R.
Yeah.
Okay. Now this directory is simply R.
Yeah.
And take a look at the hint once again and notice that the spacing between
Actually,
the characters is different. Maybe this is trying to spell out rabbit. So maybe there's R and inside here's a directory called A. Let's check. Okay, so RA, keep going. All right. So RAB. Okay, again keep going. Now the dialog changes, but that's just dialog from the book itself. I'm not going to read that. RABBI T. Okay, so RABBIT, spelling rabbit here. So here we're in the directory T called T, and we reach this page. It says open the door and enter Wonderland. So there is another dialogue, and we have this Alice door image that we saw, and we are going to view the page source. Now, is there anything within the source that might be useful to us? Can you see anything there? Look carefully, see if you are able to see anything of use, anything of importance at all.
This last line, how do the crocodile? This
What is that?
line doesn't have any.
Pardon?
Hello, sir.
Yeah, what are you saying?
That last third line on
Yeah,
Alice. How
hmm.
do the little crocodile improve? Is
Yeah.
I think there's no space. Something that's what is.
There's no space. So what could
Yeah,
that mean?
maybe some kind of password or something.
Okay, okay, could be a password. Also, see, Alice colon. There is a colon here.
Yeah,
This is usually how you write username password combinations. Username colon password. So let's
yeah,
try this. I'm going to. Okay, I'm not going to go to this right now. What I'll do is SSH. We have already seen that port 22 is open.
yeah.
SSH Alice at the rate this IP. And I'm going to copy this thing and okay. So I'm logged in now.
Yeah,
So I'm logged in as this Alice user. So currently we now have access to this system, initial access, and we are Alice at Wonderland. So okay, let us check where we are. We should be in the home directory, right? Let's see whether we have the flag here. ls gives us two files. Okay, rest are all just system files. There's root.txt and there is this walrus and the carpenter.py. So that is a Python script. Cat root.txt is not going to be allowed, permission denied, because that's the root flag. So we cannot access the root flag, of course, since we are not root. So if the user directory contains the root password, sorry, not root password, root flag, where do you think we'll find the root, sorry, the user flag?
No, sir, no idea.
If the user flag is in the root directory, sorry, if the root flag is in
Yeah,
the user directory, maybe the user flag is in the root directory. No?
yeah, same. Yeah, maybe.
Okay. That kind of thinking is what we're going to apply. So let's try going into the root directory, cd root. Okay, I'm able to go here. ls permission denied, but usually the user flag is in the file called user.txt. So let's see if there is a file here that we can cat and we are able to
Yeah,
access the user flag this way. Okay. So we have the user flag now. Now we need to work on privilege escalation. So we need to see how we can escalate to root and get the root flag. So for that, I'll need to, of course, I'll need to look for ways to do that. Let me see if I can access the shadow file. Is that possible? Let's see. Nope, permission denied. Okay, no worries. Let's see what else we can do. We can test our sudo permissions. Okay, what kind of sudo permissions I have? I'll just check that. Sudo -l says password for Alice. Password is copied already. I just paste it. Now, user Alice will run the following commands on Wonderland. Rabbit. So I cannot run this command as root, but I can run this command as a rabbit user. So that's another user on the system. And what is the command? User bin python 3.6 home Alice Wonders on the carpenter.py. So the Python script that we found, we can run that script as the rabbit user. So with the privilege of the rabbit user, I can run that Walrus and the carpenter script. So okay, before doing that, we also need to figure out what that script is for. Okay, so I'm going to cd into the home directory of Alice and go back to that script and see what it is doing. So let's see, let's read that script. It's a Python file. I can simply cat it and see what it says. Now, okay, again, this looks like another long poem. So it starts here. This is where it starts. Import random. Okay, import random. So we are importing a Python module called random, and in the next line it says poem is equal to. So it's creating a variable named poem and assigning it this value. This value is okay. This is the poem. So up to here, and this is being stored in that poem variable. So after that, after storing this variable, see 90% of this code is just this poem itself. The rest is all just 3 or 4 lines. So after this poem, there's a for loop for I in range 10. So whatever is a part of this loop, that code is going to execute 10 times. So what is it? Line is equal to random dot choice poem dot split n. So first you're taking the poem dot, sorry, not poem dot, you're taking the poem, then you are applying the split function to it. So and where is it splitting the poem at every new line character. So at after every line there is a new line character. Basically it is splitting the poem into different lines and storing these lines as an array or as a dictionary. Actually Python does not list, sorry, not even dictionary. And when it's storing that, all the different lines of this poem variable. After that, we are applying the random dot choice function to it. So that is randomly selecting one line out of all of them, and then that is being stored in this line variable and print. So we're displaying on screen the line was, after tab you have the line variable. Okay, so let's try and run it. Dot slash walrus. Okay, dot slash is not going to work. We'll need to use Python. Okay, maybe there's Python 3 here instead of just Python. Okay, so Python 3 walrus and the carpenter dot py. So the line was, and it's going to just select 10 lines randomly and display them on screen. 10 lines from that poem. Every time I run it, it's going to do the same thing. And the lines are random, so they'll be different every time. So you won't find the same lines every time. And even the blank lines are counting as lines for this program, so it's printing them as well. Okay, so this is just what this program is doing, nothing else. Just selecting lines from that poem and displaying those lines on the screen. That is all that is being done here. So do you think there's any way we could use this program to our advantage? Can you think of any way to do that? Okay, think about it, and we'll meet tomorrow and see how to proceed further from this. Okay, so think about what we can do.